I just want to say good evening to everybody out there. H Coach 704. It's been a hot minute for a couple weeks, taking some time away to focus on different things that come up in life. And before I get into a show, which I have to catch up on everything that's been going on, so this might be a long one. There's been a lot that's been going on with a number of us, and the biggest thing for me that I will share is I'm getting a second job. I'm going to be doing a lot more work at my main job. We're getting into a busy multi-million-dollar renovation, and that took up a lot of time the past few weeks. Had some personal things to deal with. Had a little touch of the crazy flu that's been going around. But as you may or may not know, I am getting married next year, so this second job is to pay for this extravagant wedding. It'll be pretty nice, but so you had to take some time. Well, I had to take some time away for that stuff. We talked about, the issues that Jeff, our associate commish, had. He's getting back on his feet, and sometimes you have to take time to deal with the real world. But now I'm back full time, thank goodness. And hopefully we'll be able to get back on track with this thing we call the PEL. Now, I have to look and see what's going on because I got the standings up, and I need to analyze what the hell's going on because I've been so out of touch, and I know we hadn't done a show in a while, so this will be good for everybody. So going through the divisions, I see the Steelers as usual dominating at 10-1, the Browns 8-3, and the Ravens and Bengals both at 4-7. The Bengals have played some teams really tough, and I know they gave the Steelers their only loss this year, as a matter of fact. But I thought he'd be a little better, but you still don't have the talent quite in Cincinnati to compete with the big dogs here. I know we got a new Ravens owner. I don't know much, but I see he's holding his own at least at 4-7. So hopefully, with the next year fully under his belt, he'll be able to compete with the very tough Steelers and the very annoying Browns to play. I'm kidding. AFC South, oh my lord, this is wow. Okay, so we got a division with 4 teams that are all under 500, and that's pretty damn terrible. But I'm glad to see Cody and the Titans are in a tie for first place with Kyle and the Jaguars at 5-6, Colts at 4-7, and then the Texans 2-8. And I gotta say once again, we said it in the chat earlier, shout out and prayers to the Texans. He's in the hospital. Hope everything's okay. He's one of our older members in the league, but I tell you this, man, a league is only as strong as its weakest player. And we know the Texans aren't the best player, but he is dedicated. There were times where he wanted to quit. I know last Madden and then some in this Madden. But he sticks with it, man, and he keeps trying hard and competing. And it hurt me a lot to hear that news that he shared with us today. And if I have never meant it before, I mean it now, that this is a family and everyone cares for each other. We may get a little angry about Madden, but at the end of the day, there's a camaraderie here that you don't get in most other Madden leagues. Some may have been together longer, but it's just a Madden relationship, and it's more than that with the guys that have been here long term. And I hope the new guys get to understand that, and I hope they're starting to see that. If not, then we'll build it back up. But back to Madden. The division's wide open. Well, at least between these three teams, I think Texans will be out a little while. But we know the Colts are capable. They've had back-to-back 10-win seasons before this one. They won't have it this year because they have 7 losses. But so it'll come down to week 17, and then you have to look at the divisional matchups and tiebreakers. If you take a quick look at divisional records, just for the heck of it, Cody has a nice advantage there. He's 3-0 in the division, but there's 3 division games left, so there's still time to swing that around. Let's jump to the AFC East. And these guys have been feasting because I have been gone for 7 weeks. I see, oh God, now his name slips my mind. Heavy with the Dolphins at 7-3, or Frank. Oh, I'm sorry. Patriots at 6-4, Jets 5-6. It's the wide open division between these three, I believe. It's good to see the Patriots at 6-4. And then the Jets have won 3 games in a row to get back in the race. And I'll tell you now, my plan, I'm playing some younger guys. I'm definitely playing the young running back I took in the first round. And I scrolled through those guys the other day. And, there's some guys that had a bunch of XP. So we're still a really good team. We're just, confidence is low. So, we'll be all right. We're playing for next year. AFC West, Deontay 8-2, Tristan 6-4, the Broncos at 5-5, and then Jerome at 0-10. Jerome, you got to score, man. Only 105 points in 10 games. You're averaging 10 points a game. We got to get more than that. But the Broncos' improvement has made this a 3-team race, even though Deontay's got a 2-game lead. He's probably got the tiebreaker over the Chiefs. Well, he might have lost the other. I can't remember. I got to look. But it's good that this puts the Broncos in wild card contention. They lost 2 in a row. They're playing the Patriots right now. And that's a big game to determine wild card seeding coming down the line in the AFC. All right, NFC North. Got the Vikings at 7-3. Lions 8-3, Packers 7-4, and then the Bears 3-8. So the Bears have improved, which is good. And then it's a 3-team race between the Vikes, Lions, and Packers. The biggest thing I see is the Lions scoring a ton of points, but they're giving up a lot, which is a little unusual for the 2-time Super Bowl champs. So there's some chink in the armor there. The Packers are hanging in there at 7-4 despite having more points given up than points scored, but that's still good to see. And then the Vikings are playing well with a good defense. You see they're only giving up 169 points on the season. That's a 16-point average per game, which is usually good enough to win you more games than you lose. So good race going on in the NFC North as always, and we'll see how it shakes out. Oh, God. The South in both leagues, both conferences are just terrible. My Lord. But it's competitive. All right. The Falcons 5-5 are tied with the Bucks at 5-5. And then you got the Saints at 3-7 and the Panthers 0-10. Panthers talking about a fire sale, but only one trade in the offseason, and then draft, there's no trade rule, but there's not much you can pull off during the draft, so there's not going to be much of a fire sale. You better go find some free agents if you want some changes. Saints are still in it. Bucks, of course, tied with the Falcons. The saddest thing about this division is all 3 of these guys have given up more points than they've scored. I don't know if I've ever seen this kind of futility in one division. I don't know, man. But this will probably come down to week 17. So we'll see how it shakes out. NFC East, we've got the Eagles at 8-2, Giants 7-4, Cowboys 4-7, and the Redskins 3-7. So even though Agape is playing more games, he's still not in the race for the division. So maybe he really does suck, even though he beat the Browns the other day. 2-team race like we thought with the Eagles and the Giants. I know the Giants defeated the Eagles earlier this season. I don't know if they've played again yet or not. But that'll be huge if the Giants are able to get the tiebreaker over the Eagles, because he's got a game that he's already played, and the Eagles probably have had a bye. The Giants haven't had their bye. No, I think the Eagles are playing now, so we'll see how that shakes out. So he could have a 2-game lead, but the Giants at least have one game to, maybe force a tie, if they were to end up tied in the standings, excuse me. NFC West, of course, the 49ers are 10-0, Seahawks 9-2, and the Cardinals 7-4, and the Rams 1-10. I'm sorry, Jerome, I got on you about scoring. The Rams in 11 games have scored 90 points. I mean, I know it's a tough division, and you've got two teams here in the 49ers and Seahawks that probably are leading the league in terms of team defense with 131 and 130 points given up, but we got to get more of that offense, man. We got to switch playbooks. We got to do something, because that 90 points ain't going to cut it. That's, 9 points a game? Maybe not 9, a little less than 9 points. But you do play me next, so I'm sure you'll light it up for about 35. We'll see what happens. But I think all three of these teams have a good shot at the playoffs. I think both wild cards came out of this division last year, so it could happen again this year in the NFC. All right, so that's a review of the standings. There's a lot I need to do. If we jump ahead a little bit, well, let's take a look at the games from this week, just to kind of get an idea. There's that upset that the Cowboys pulled over the Browns. It's a big win by the Titans over the Bears. And that was a close game. The Bengals are very competitive, but the Steelers got some revenge and won that one this time. Jags easily over the Ravens. And this game, I think Ajayi had like 6 touchdowns. That was crazy. But I didn't hear any complaints from the Packers, so I'm going to assume that's legit. And we see the games going on right now. Broncos, Pats is a force for the Chiefs. I guess that's going to be a sim. I don't know. There's a force for Levi. And there's that blocked extra point game I saw in the chat. Big win for the Cardinals over the Seahawks. Jets over the Rams. Well, he put up 14, so, there's some progress. That's good. Saints, Bucks. I think that's a force. I remember seeing that was a force, I believe. Y'all correct me if I'm not right on that, but I'm going to make it a force. That's what I remember seeing. Lions big over the Colts, and I guess these guys are still playing right now. Okay. All right, so there's the game review. I think Levi is going to do predictions. I know he was talking about doing them a more efficient way. We'll see if he's able to get those done. I think he posted a comment, so he must be around. Okay. So we'll see if he's able to do those coming up for week 13. We've got a few weeks left before playoffs come around. I'll be doing power rankings because I hadn't done them all season. I'm going to cut this one a little short because we do need to do power rankings, and there's a couple of things I need to do as far as catching up on the stories, blogs going on Daddy Leagues, and just catching up overall with the league and seeing, what has been the trend, what's going on. And I see Levi says he's on it after advance, so he is going to do his illustrious predictions, which we all love and adore. So that's pretty much going to be it for now. I've got a lot of catching up to do. I've got to take myself off auto and get back into the swing of things. But thank you to everybody that hung out and put up with me being gone because I had to deal with so much. Talked about that in the beginning. If you weren't on, you can go back and check that out. But, we'll be back to normal, and we'll be sticking with the live show. some of the other commissions are going to step up and do things. I know Cody did storylines. I need to check that out from last week. Levi will be doing predictions. Ben is kind of checking out gameplay. And there's some other roles that we're going to define going forward with all the other commissions. So I do want to say thank you to those guys that stepped up while I was gone. It's greatly appreciated. We did appoint the 3 other commissions. I think I shared that on another show. But just as a reminder, Ben, the Seahawks, Ramon, the Browns, and Levi, the 49ers, are all commissions now within the league. And I need to get them official titles on the league page, and we'll talk about that. But we talked about in the chat the other day, next year, what the league's going to look like. And I'm really considering, and I'm pretty strong on it, I want to move to 72 hours. There's a lot of guys in here that have a lot of stuff going on, and I know there's some that like the 48, and I like the 48 too. But I think some of the issues we have with games being played are because of the advanced schedule. And if we take it to 72 and then we still push to try to get it done pretty fast, I think we'll be okay. But what we're going to do is we'll play our first season, and then we'll sim the second season. That way, because we're 72 hours, we still get deeper into the game on that second season. We'll play the playoffs, and then we'll go back to playing for season 3. And then it'll go back and forth like that going forward on the 72-hour advanced schedule. And that's just to allow more time for people to play games. That's why we're here. There's been a lot of forces, a lot of sims because of that, tight window. And I think, we're more geared for that. So that's what we'll do in Madden 19. If we end up getting a lot of games in, we just advance early like we've been doing now. So I don't think it'll be a huge change. I think we'll be fine with it. So anyways, everybody, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. We'll have more on that as time goes on. And we'll have another show real soon. Thank you.